Hey, Flutter people. Before we start, I've seen a lot of comments on YouTube with questions or asking for some advice, etc. So it's difficult for me to respond to them because there are so many sources, so many social media accounts out there, and I'm kind of lost. So I decided that maybe we should get together. And for that reason, I've created a chat, a Discord channel, so we could help each other out. So if you have questions or some problems, join the chat and I will help you, or someone else will help you if I'm not available. And this way it will be more efficient, and we could just progress as a whole, as a team with all that. I will link the channel URL in the description somewhere over there, and yeah, see you there. We'll see how it goes. Today we will implement a very basic client-side search. Let me show you how it looks. I've added the search icon. When you click on it, you have a new screen. So eventually we will be able to search through all the resources we have in our application, all the entities. What I mean by that, you would be able to search by emails, by contacts, by files, but for now it's only for contacts. So if you type something, you just get the proper results from this list over here. And if you type just 2 letters or less than 3 letters, there is a message that appears. Let's see how it's done. Luckily enough, Flutter already provides the search widget. So there is not much really to do. It's relatively straightforward. So we have these contacts. So let's go to this screen, contact screen. And for starters, there is the up bar and we have the actions. So we have the first element is this chip with the count of contacts, and then we have some padding. So let's go ahead and add a button, and this will be the search icon. So icon search. Yeah, and the second parameter is the handler on press. Yeah, so we have the icon, nothing happens, and there is a built-in method called show search simply. And now we have to add the context, and the second parameter is delegate. So here we have to define which page should appear when this function is invoked. So right now if I click, nothing really happens because we haven't defined the delegate. So let's do that. So let's create a file. This will be contact search delegate. Contact search delegate extends, and we have to extend search delegate. So having done that, there are some errors because we have to implement some methods that we inherit from search delegate. So let's go ahead and open that. So this is an abstract class, which means that all the not implemented signatures, definitions of methods need to be implemented, and that's the reason we have errors. So there is like 4 methods here, and if you click on the smart icon, it suggests that you must override those methods. So there you go, build actions, build leading, build results, and build suggestions. So the idea here is that this class, this widget, provides a screen for search, and you have some holes, 4 holes that you need to fill in. And the one is for actions, the one is for the leading icon, for the results, and there's a possibility to have suggestions. So in order to make it work quickly, I will add container here and here. So it's empty space. For the build leading, this is the icon on the left, if I remember correctly. So icon button, let's say. Icons arrow back. So this is the icon that we will use to go back to the previous screen. And then we have on pressed. So this search delegate provides a method for us, so we can go back to the previous screen, and this is simply close. So we have to give it context, which we are getting from here, and null, which is the result we want to pass back. So if you remember the famous episode about pancakes, this search screen is another pancake, so it's another screen we are adding on the existing one. And here for the build actions, this must be a list. So for now, let's just add icon. So let's change it to button. Icons clear, and this must be icon and on pressed, and we have to wrap it into icon. Okay, this should be good. Okay, I don't need to specify that. Okay, so we filled those 4 methods, and now we need to connect that. So here delegate is null, and we need to say that we want to use our new contact search class, contact search delegate. So now we need to just import it, contact search delegate. I don't know why. Okay, I made a mistake. Contact. Yeah. Okay. So now we connected the class the new class we created, and we plugged it into this show search methods. And now when I click, I have this new screen, and nothing really appears because it's empty. We have the cross icon here, we have the back button here, so when I click, I go back to this screen over here, and again to the search. So now it would be good to see how to improve that. So first, for the results, instead of using container, let's use center, child text, and let's say your query is, and let's type query. Query is a getter that comes from search delegate. Using query, we can display the currently entered query in the search bar. So if I type taste, it displays the text with the query. So now we can use what is being entered by the user to search through our list of contacts. And this is going to be a client-side search, because we will fetch the whole list, and then in Flutter on the mobile side, we will filter it out. So we will just select those elements, those contacts from the list that match our query here. So this is not optimal. It would be better to do this search, to ask the server, the API, already for the list with those elements filtered out. So we will improve that in the future episodes. But for now, it's good enough. simply. So we have this. Now let's display the results. So let me remove that part, or maybe let's leave it, but let's say if query length less than 3, let's return a message which says type more than 3 letters to search, or at least because it's less than 3. Okay, so we have that. And here, if it's 3 or more, we will use it. So we have to perform the search. For that, we will reuse the part we had before here. This is the part that from the contact screen, which displays the whole list, unfiltered list. So I will just take this stream builder, and for now I will copy it as a whole. I will paste it here. Like that. Okay, so we need to fix the imports. Like this one. And now we need to pass the manager. So in order to do that, we will pass it by, we will create a field here in this class, a manager. And we will pass it as a through the constructor. Like that. So now here, back in the place where we invoke the new screen, the search screen, we will pass this manager as a manager, like that. Let me just fix the formatting. Okay, so now our manager is available, and we can access the streams it provides. Okay, let me restart the app. Okay, before we go further, let's go to the service, and let's remove this annoying 3 seconds delay. Okay, much better now. Okay, so now I can type something, and it will display, whenever I type something which is longer than 3, it will display the whole list again, which is not filtered. We want to have it filtered. So for that reason, we have to use a different stream. So I will change this stream. So this stream from the, let's open the manager, contact manager. So now here we created this simple stream, which just provides us the response from the API. As I said in the previous episode, this code can be simplified. So instead of using async star and using yield to await, I can do stream from future. And what happened? So stream from future, and I can just wrap it like that. And now I need to return. So yeah. So instead of using this generator-based syntax, you can just say get this future from browse, because remember, browse returns a future, and here we can transform this future directly to a stream. So it's much more convenient, and we can even remove that and use the shorthand syntax, so it's more compact. So having done that, let me create another stream here, and we will improve that in the future episodes, but for now it will be a filtered collection, and it will take a parameter which will be a search, which will be query, let's say, like that. So this is an optional parameter, and we will pass this parameter here. So whenever we are getting something from from the invocation of this method of manager, of the contact manager, we can get something as argument, and then we pass it to the service to do the search. Okay, so now we need to modify the browse method here. So this method must accept a query, which will be optional. Okay, so this method makes a request, gets the response, so we get the whole list of contacts. We transform the string into a collection of maps, and then we transform those maps into instances of the contact class. So here we will make small adjustments. So first of all, let's remove that to list, and let's transform that into iterable of contact, like so. Now let's see if the query is not null and query is not empty. So this is an important distinction, because the query, if someone passes the query, it can be either a string with some value or empty string. But if someone doesn't pass the query, it's null in that case, because this is an optional parameter. So we have to take into account those two situations. And if it's not null and not empty, we know that there is a value, a string, that someone wants to perform the search, and we can now use it. So let's use it. So I will say contacts where, and where takes a function, which this function goes through each element of the iterable. It's similar to map, but in this case it's a predicate. So it means that it's a function that returns either true or false. And if it returns true, where will include it? And if it's false, where will skip it? So we just want to have the, so let's use this shorthand version. So we want to take the contact, so the whole object. We want to grab the name, because we will be searching by name. To make it slightly simpler, we will make the name lowercase, so it's unified. So whatever is entered by the user in the search box, the letter casing doesn't matter. So that's the reason we do to lowercase. And now we use contains method, and here we just say query. So let me just make it like that. So now the last thing is to, because this is still iterable, we need to transform it back to a list, and that should work. Let's see. So let me go back, let's restart. Okay, we have the list, so let's say hello. Okay, so I typing how, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because we haven't connected the new stream with our view, because we are still using the previous stream, the stream which has all the elements. So let's fix that. Okay, so here in the delegate, yeah, we are using this contact list view, which always returns all the elements, or everything which is returned from the server. So let's use this filtered collection, and let's pass the query. So this will be query. Okay, it works already. So let me go back and let's say Dennis. So Dan. Yeah, it works. So now it'd be good to implement this cross sign here, which is this handler. So we can just say query empty whenever we click on it. And now if I click, yeah, it's empty. And I have the message back. So let's say howl again. Yeah. There you have it, a very simple client-side search. There is a lot of repetition, as you can see, because we have reused this stream builder from the previous screen, from the contacts screen, which is here, and it's almost exactly the same. So let's refactor it quickly so it's slightly better. I will create a class called contact list builder, and contact list builder, and this will be extending stateless widgets like so. Yeah, I should have used the snippets, but I always forget about this. Yeah, so then one method, and here let's define two things. The first thing would be the stream, and the second one will be the builder. So this will be a function, and the stream would be a stream of list of contact, like so. Let's import the contact like that, and let's construct it. Okay, we don't need the key, and we don't need this. Okay, so here like that. And now let's go and let's take this whole thing, this whole stream builder, and let's put it here. And here we will use the stream. We will reuse this part, and only here, when we get the data, we will return the builder with contacts. And this part over here. So now we have, so we are going to wrap this part with the whole thing, like detecting which connection state it is, etc., because it's always the same code. And now we can go back to, so let's first go back to the search delegate, and we can remove all that, and we can say return contact list builder, like that. And the first is the stream, which is this, and then it's a builder, which is contacts and contacts, and we can reuse this part. Like that. And finally, let's remove the builder. So now if everything went well, if I type something, it works as before. And we can reuse this contact list builder in our contact screen as well, because we have this boilerplate here too. So instead of using stream builder, we can say contact list builder. We can say stream, so it's exactly the same, and builder, and this is contacts like that. And the part that's, well, it's in this case it's the same, but we will change that later. So that's the reason I decided to extract it. And let's import that. There is an error. And let's remove this part here. Okay. Our list works. And our search works as well. So let's stop here. In the next episodes, I'm planning some bigger changes because we will be working on the architecture of our application. So stay tuned and see you in the next episode.